Chris Spiker. I'm with my longtime friend Vern Lawson. Vern Lawson Sr.?
Yes.
Yeah, because there's another Vern Lawson around the valley here.
And he is on Google a lot.
Well, he's been around. So your whole life you've been a writer.
That's true. Adult life.
For the Antelope Valley Press.
Well, since 1957.
Since 1957, so you're coming up on 60 years. Wow. And I've always noticed ever since you've been writing that you have a column called In the Vernacular.
Right.
Where did you come up with that? Besides your name is Vern.
I met my first wife at the Ledger Gazette when I first got up here in 1949. Val, you probably remember Val.
Right.
And she went into the dictionary and said, "We're going to get a name for this column." And first she said vernacularisms. No, that's not very good. How about In the Vernacular? And I've used it ever since. So it's been great.
And In the Vernacular means the regular language.
Right, the way people talk.
The way people talk. And so what was your angle with that? Where did you go with that?
Well, I used the pun for Vern, and I've tried whenever I could come up with a subject to feature humor, and I'm still trying to do that, but sometimes life is not conducive to producing humor columns. But I wrote about the Republican contest now. Donald Trump is producing a lot of humor, I think. So that's what I wrote about this morning and sent it in for Thursday's publication.
How many columns are you writing per week now?
Well, just one. I got one column, but I do other writing. I do editorials, and I do a monthly piece for the magazine that we put out, Lifestyle. That's Hometown History, which is based on things that happened in Lancaster and Palmdale in the old days.
And at this point in your career, you know so much. Do you have to do any research or make any?
I do a lot of research, and I really appreciate Google. And I was writing an editorial the other day, and I had probably 60 pages printed out from Google on what I was writing about.
And you came to the Antelope Valley in 1947?
49.
49.
Out of USC, went to the structure about 2 weeks before I was to graduate. I said, "You got any jobs?" She said, "Well, I've got one in Lancaster and one in Blythe." I thought, "Oh my, those are both way out in the desert."
Yeah, so you picked the closest
I
garden.
picked Lancaster and got hired on that Saturday. I've been here ever since.
Wow. You come up in a car or on the train?
On a Greyhound.
On a Greyhound bus?
Yeah. Didn't own a car, and started at a salary of $35 a week.
Wow. So you got a job.
I got a job, and I met my future wife right away, and rented a room for $8 a week. And
now in 49, rooms weren't too hard to find.
no, so people had rooms available.
But at certain times aerospace gets busy and then there aren't so many.
Then the aerospace started really increasing a lot in 1950. We got married in 1950, and then from 50 to 57, there was a lot of development here in the aerospace. A lot of companies coming in, a lot of jobs created, and then 57, Pentagon decided, well, we can defend the country with missiles. We don't need these airplanes.
Ah, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
And that the valley just kind of shriveled up.
There was a lot of layoffs.
What are some of your favorite stories over the last years and years?
I think back in the 60s, there was a bunch of Boy Scouts, I think in April, were on a hiking trip on Mount Baden-Powell up by Wrightwood. And they got in a snowstorm, and they had to spend the night on the mountain. So the press all congregated in the lodge there, and I was pleased to see life photographers there. And
wow,
and
big story.
Yeah, it was a big story. I don't know, maybe a couple of hundred kids involved, and the parents were had waited all night there, and And then the kids came down off the mountain, and,
Oh,
and
man. Oh, man.
everybody was safe. Nobody got hurt. And the headline I used in the paper was "Angels with 30 Faces," because a movie title that
Oh, that's right.
seemed to apply.
Yeah.
But that was fun because we had one phone, and you had to get in line to use the telephone. No cell phones in those days.
And you probably had the advantage because you were a local.
Yeah, well, what advantage. But I was impressed with the life photographer, and they were taking natural light shots in this darkened lodge, and I thought, boy, that's cool.
When else have you seen where the big time journalists come to the Antelope Valley?
Well, I guess, of course, all the shuttle landings and things out in Edwards, which I've covered some of them, but not everything. And we were there when Lyndon Johnson came, and we saw the Moonwalker prototype they had there at NASA. In the 50s, there were a lot of plane crashes that we had to roll on.
That's all part of being a test pilot,
Yeah.
test programs.
But now I think it's much safer, but still accidents do happen, like the Spaceship Two accident was
Yeah.
pretty tough.
So everybody is a journalist now, a blogger or
Yeah,
a journalist
right.
or tweeting.
Yeah.
What advice do you have to the people who are following in your moccasin prints?
I would say that it's a fun workplace to be in. It's a lot of activity and deadlines to meet, and the people who really enjoy it are wonderful to be with, and you go have a beer after work and talk about the stories that you do. So that's part of the reason to get in the field. Obviously, it's collapsed in terms of job. Many papers have had layoffs, and that's the sad part. But there's, of course, opportunities digitally to go online, as you pointed out. So I would certainly encourage anybody who has a yen for journalism to get in the field and do what they can. And we just have a new Valley Life editor that just came on in the last couple of weeks, and I read a paper that a college student had done. Was just beautifully done, and computers have helped a lot. I think it's easier to write now with computers than it used to be with those mechanical typewriters.
You don't have to copy and recopy and type and retype.
No, that's right. And it was very difficult if you found, well, that paragraph should go up someplace. Oh, well, let it go. But now on the computer, it's cut and paste, and you're done with it in 30 seconds, and it's much better. So I enjoy writing more than I used to.
It still takes a mind.
Yes, and I have to remember what your vocabulary. I use the dictionary a lot, and also Roget's thesaurus.
Right.
I look up words, try to find synonyms, and if you're copying from somebody else, you try to get a different word that means the same thing. So I do a lot of that. So I spend a lot of time with books and also going online and verifying spellings and stuff like that.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
Very important. Otherwise, if we don't have a standard,
Right.
we don't have much.
Yeah.
So which is going to, are people going to keep reading their news, or are they just going to be watching videos?
Well, I think there's still a necessity of having printed news in some form, and I certainly, frankly, when I see a video, at first I'm not interested in that because I want to get the words and get the full meaning of the
Right.
story.
Just let me read the story. I don't want to watch somebody talking to me.
So, but I know videos are very popular. There's a lot more online now. And there's also pop-ups that drive you crazy.
Right.
And I have to click on those off all the time. But it's a whole different world. I was in the Valley Press office the other day, and I went down into an area that I hadn't been in for years. They used to have a huge camera there that would produce a negative the size of a newspaper page. And I said, "Where's the camera?" "Oh, it's gone because digital world has produced other ways of getting that thing on the press." So.
Boy, don't you wish you had a warehouse where you could put each one of those special machines that we don't use anymore that someday we're going to need again.
Maybe so. Valley Press has a couple of things in the lobby from the old days. And,
the sign.
Yeah,
they have a
it
neon.
was hot metal in those days. We had to use hot metal. And,
I remember Jerry Bioch giving us the demonstration.
Right.
What do you do when there is no news?
Well, that used to be a problem when I was in the business in the 50s and the 60s. We didn't have wire service. We didn't have Associated Press. And one thing we did get was military stories about so-and-so's kid is in Fort Lewis or whatever.
Right.
They were brief, and I used to have reporters editing those, and I'd grab them one at a time to go back to the people who sent the type in the back. And that time we had to double. We had to type things on a typewriter and then take it back, and somebody else would put it into type form.
Wow.
So anyway, those days it was hard when you come to the end of the day and there just wasn't anything else to put in the paper.
Right.
And we had Bill Gillis and some good reporters that covered the police beats and other things. And we finally got to have an Associated Press, and they have a vast volume of news coming over every day.
That helped.
That's better. But I'm proud of the Valley Press that they keep community news in there, just like they did when we were a weekly, and try to cover the local community first and then worry about the international news later. And so they've stayed on that format all the way through. We're over 100 years old now. So.
Nobody does local news.
That's right.
And in the LA Times, nothing.
No, you don't find Lancaster in there very often. It's usually a negative story if they come up with one.
Well, Vern, it's been fun talking with you. And so maybe the next video that we'll make, we'll go bowling.
All right.
Vern Lawson, Antelope Valley Press. 60 plus years. I've been trying to do, that's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for talking with us. Chris Spiker for AV Nice. Thank you.